Not that was a whole threat and y'all didn't even call and check on them people. Baby, I don't know if y'all saw the interview with Representative John Bucy from Texas. And listen, he was letting it all hang out. Now, for many of y'all that don't know about the whole lawmakers leaving Texas and why they left and all the things, he was letting it out, he was letting it all hang out. He was like, look, let me tell you what happened. He was like, first of all, ain't nobody running. He was like, we left because he called us into a special session and it damn sure won't about what we was going in there for. He was like, we thought we was going in there for them little kids that were in that little flood and trying to give them families money and making sure we take care of Texans. He was like, but when we got up in there, then they started talking about, oh, this gerrymander shit. He was like, so then we rolled out. That's basically what he was like, what happened? And he was like, and now the fact that they mad or whatever and trying to recall us back and then saying that, you're sending people or whatever. He was like, and activating your base and whatnot. He was like, it's wild work and it's dangerous. It's about as dangerous as Instagram turning on that damn location for everybody to fucking see where you at. Now, he was like, when that whole threat came through, when they had to evacuate the hotel and whatnot, he was like, we already been getting threats and what have you. He was like, and all this happened. If they really cared about them people, he was like, why we ain't heard from Abbott, Cronin, or Paxton? He was like, ain't nobody called us. And he was like, and the fact of the matter is, they tricked us to come to that special session for those flood victims. And he said, we thought that we were, trying to get funding for Hill Country and, the cabin full of girls and, all of the Texans that lost their lives, which was over 130 some odd people. He was like, so to have them, bring us in there and then tell us this and then not expect us to walk out is crazy within itself. He was like, but it also should be noted, quiet as it's kept. He was like, Abbott has executive power authority. He was like, he don't even need us to help those people. And he could absolutely help those people today with the funding that they need to go ahead and make themselves whole. He was like a little bit, he's like, but he's just choosing not to. Child just wheeled right on over his ass, didn't he? Sure did. Mm-hmm. Texans, y'all should be real upset and y'all should be calling Abbott and Paxton and Cronin's office and being like, yo, so y'all been sitting here on the money for these families that's over here grieving who's trying to put their life back together and y'all sitting over here trying to chase these people down for what reason when they're actually trying to do right. He was like, look, the thing is they're not telling the truth, so of course their base is all riled up thinking we're just out here not trying to vote and whatnot. He was like, that's not the case. We went in there to vote to give Texans money and they came in there with some bullshit.
Like and subscribe to Mom's channel.